答えは常に塔の上にある。
間に合う。間に合った。アリーナに売店ぐらいあるよな。
After school.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Webtoons. We got a lot to unpack today. First things first, though, it's finally back. Tower of God. Adam, you could go ahead and take this one, man.
Dude, this shit, I've been fucking, you guys already know, man. Big Tower fan. Really, really hyped for this. I think I told you, Danny, off stream, like, I think 2 weeks before this was actually released. There's this guy I follow on Twitter who does his best to, like, transcribe and, like, give a synopsis of what's going to happen in Tower right now. I already kind of knew what was going to happen in the first chapter I was coming back, and, I mean, I said this to you, dude, this is old school Tower we're coming back to. Like, we're getting back to the actual games, we're getting back to, like, how do you proceed to the next floor, and really, really heavy dialogue, like, very big Yakuza style with the dialogue in these last two chapters, and, it's really good stuff, man. You know, it's a lot of big players that are now making appearances, like, actually doing something, and, I mean, let's just really get into it. So, we come back to where we left off at, where Yarasacha, the cat guy from the Sriracha from the Lopobia family, he's coming out. He goes, "Hey, I got a game for you guys. If you want to save your master, you have to play this game." And then he goes to Yama. He goes, "If you want to save your people, you have to play this game." And then he goes to Calivan, and he's like, "Hey, I know you're pissed off, so if you want to fight the guy who pretty much fucked you over and fucked all your people over, you have to play this game." You know, so it's very old school Tower. Basically, they all have to go through this, like, cat house. Everyone has to choose a different captain to kind of navigate their own way. And the interesting part is that you can choose where you want to go when you get to the end. What's really interesting is that Evankil has an idea of where she wants to go.
Yeah, you can see it on her face, like right there when she's just looking at everything. She's kind of like planned out her own like you can already see in her face.
Right. You know, and I feel like there's a lot to unpack there, but we don't really have any speculation. And I feel like a lot of this has come from the sniper that failed to kill her in previous chapters.
Yeah, you like, she's with her now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when she had found her, she decided not to kill her. From what I can remember, she goes, "Oh, I have a different use for you." So I have a feeling that this girl, I can't remember her name, but I feel like she has some kind of ability similar to a guide, even though she's not of that family. So, I mean, we can only see what's going to happen with her, but essentially we get all the team captains. You know, we get Bam, White, Calivan, the two heroes from the past, and everyone else is kind of going... Oh, and Evankil is also a captain. So once they go through their preliminaries and find their destination, then we can see what's going to happen in the first half of this arc, that's definitely what it's going to be. And the second half is going to be the people that did not decide to be a captain, which is going to be, you know, the scouts. So like Kun, Rack, yeah, exactly. You know, so we got all these different players, and it's a lot of setup, but what it leads into with the next chapter, you know, the one that recently came out, is that, well, the captains that are on the playing field, they have to go through a box. And in that box is a different race that Yarasacha had captured and told them, "Hey, if you beat this captain, I will free you and all your people." And God knows how many of those people are actually in the boxes, or just like, "Hey, I captured the best and you have to fight these people," you know? And the one thing that kind of got me in this whole ordeal was that Kun had said, "Well, I don't want Bam to go through this." And Issa was like, "Well, you can't really do that. He wants to save his master. You know, he has to go through this." And the one thing I really like, which has been like a really prominent idea in, you know, all of Season 3 and the ending bit of Season 2, is that Bam doesn't want to kill people. He really is at that point where he's like, "I don't want to hurt anybody if I don't have to." And when he comes across the first box of this first race of people, he's getting told that, well, if you want to proceed, you have to kill them. you can't just beat them. You have to actually kill them before you can move on and save your own master.
Before you go further, I would kind of argue that maybe now he's kind of like, you kind of have to kill a few people in order to save like who he wants to protect, and like he's kind of come across that realization that maybe I can't really save everybody, but what I can do is use their name or whatever power that they've given me so far, either their memory or their actual fucking power. Use that in place of like their life that he took.
I completely agree
with all the fucking souls that he's gotten from the core of death and all that.
I completely agree with you. And you know what? I didn't really want to believe it the way that season 3 was going out, but I think with the way this last chapter went, with what he has to go through to save his master, Jin Sung Ha, is that he has to revert back to how he was when Fug found him. At the end of season 1, he has to be this ruthless person, and he has to do it. You know, he has to become a slayer in order to get what he wants, like to find the answers to more of his mother, his father. You know why.
I mean, he is reverting back, but he's still got that like that not the innocence, but like because that shit's long gone. But but that well, I guess the way he was before he could, I guess like before he went to Fug, and like after when he realized like he's not, or he's more than what he really is, I guess. In a sense.
Right.
And like when the I guess the tribe, what would call it, that came out of the box, he's not just willy-nilly just taking them out. He's like, I guess kind of the explanation was already given to him, like he didn't fucking ask, but like it's still appreciated to him that he knows that
what
these
people
that these people are like, they don't want to be here, and they're not really fucking mindless, like following Yastracha's order. Like they don't want to be there either, dude. Like they want to. Like they've been told that if they keep him back for at least one round, they can go back to their home, which I fucking doubt, because Yastracha's a bitch.
Oh, 100%. You know, but then at that point, you know, you have to remember what not the administrator, but the guy who's just giving out the test. He goes, well, if you don't kill them, you lose a turn, and then you lose the chance of, well, yeah, I can get to the end, but am I going to have enough turns to save my master? You know, so he has to make that decision whether now or later on.
I was saying that like he's not shooting first, ask questions later, not hesitant, but he's really thinking about like what the life is worth that he's trying to fucking, I guess, take or whatever, or fight.
Right.
Yeah. And that's been a thing, right, for a while in Tower. That's been a lot of questioning with Bam. It's just like, you can't just be the boy who entered this tower anymore. You have to really step up, because we're dealing with armies now. Man, like, we're not just fighting one-on-ones. Maybe a ranker shows up. You know, like, you're a big deal. And it's been like that for a while, so it's time to mature
You are a fucking formidable force of nature in that sense.
Yeah, dude. And it doesn't help that all these people in Fug have been, like, bringing him up to be like, dude, you have to be this person, you know? So I mean, we're definitely going to see that inner dialogue with him.
They were kind of right.
Exactly. You know, and then he's also got the blue monster that's in him, which we still don't know too much about. And
yeah,
I mean, we're going to see a lot of inner dialogue with Bam in this one for sure, you know, and I feel that this is just my projection of, like, what I think could happen is that he gets to the end and Jin Sung Ha is like, oh, you did become the god that I knew you were always going to be, you know, because we all know Jin Sung Ha is like, dude, Bam, you can do anything, but I just want you to be happy. If him having to do what he has to do to make this happen to save his master, that's going to be the case, well, I mean, I can honestly say that from what we've seen in Season 3 and just the end of Season 2, that Bam is ready to take that ordeal on. I mean, especially with his, you know, with his fights with Caliban, like, and Caliban's consistently asking him, like, hey, dude, if this is what you really want, be certain. You know, because obviously Caliban's lived his whole life with that same mindset. Like, I didn't want to take the essence of bravery, but I had to do it to live the life that I wanted to live. And it's, you know, I said it a long time ago before that Caliban's just like a different form of Jin Sung Ha to Bam. You know, and I feel like this arc, we're going to see a lot of that. I mean, for Tower to come back right now, really good job to SIU for taking the time off to heal.
Yeah, the
But
art's
this is
really good too. Still top notch.
100%, dude, and it's gonna be great. I mean, we ended off the last chapter with a fight with White against the Goblin species, and then we end up finding out that this Goblin species is pretty much like Beta. You know, this was a fabricated thing in the workshop, so you're not really fighting a person at this point. You know, you're literally fighting a weapon, and I think that was really cool to see brought back.
The hell
in
yeah.
this arc. You know, it's
So
like, hey,
cool, dude.
don't forget that the workshop has existed for a long time, and we didn't just make like weapons. We also made species. Like, we also did all this shit. You know, and I think this is probably gonna be the best arc. You know, once it starts developing a little bit more, you know, it's gonna carry all the pieces that we had in season 2.
Hell yeah.
and like revamp on it so much more.
We're in the middle of a fucking war right now. Like, battleships are going off out there just shooting each other. And these guys are just playing a game.
Exactly.
I'm
You
like,
know,
yep, this is Tower.
Dude, that's what made me so happy. Like, when the first chapter came back, like, even though I read the synopsis, I'm like, oh, dude, we're getting back to the old school Tower days, where it's like, no, you have to play a game, you have to surpass this point in order to move forward. And it just, I like it. You know, we had the surprise element of like where Ivanka's going. We had the surprise element of like what the other party's doing. You know, it's good stuff, man. I'm really excited. I think this is, like I said, this is probably going to be the best arc, hands down.
Yeah. One thing I will say about it is, you know, I think I've mentioned it before on the Tower stuff that we did when the anime was out. I was like, man, I miss the test stuff because it's been a long time, right, since that stuff happened. It's weird because now that we're getting it, I'm like, oh, but like the reason I missed it was because like it's them climbing the tower, and now we're not climbing the tower when we're getting it.
Right.
To me, it feels a little off. I'm mainly because like they just jumped in and like we're here to save our boy. We're ready for an all-out war, and they're just like, actually, let's pump the brakes and let's make some rules about this.
But you gotta remember, man, this guy's from the Lopobia family, and all they like to do is play games. You know, especially with the knowledge that we were left off with before the hiatus, which was that Yarasacha had actually controlled the canines for a very long time before they branched off and like did their own thing. You know, so all that coming into now, it's like, oh, this was where all the pawns were being laid out before we could actually get into the nitty-gritty of what the season's supposed to be about.
Yeah, Sriracha.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to like it at the end because there's going to be a lot of stuff other side from the fights that you guys were talking about coming into this arc. So I think I'll be fine with it at the end. It was just weird at first. I'm like, oh, we're doing it now, but this is a little different. Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like you said, you know, like before we were playing test to advance to the next floor, and I think the last time we saw like a test like this was maybe the data world, to be like kind of even close to it. But even before that, way before the floor of death, before we got Joaquin into it, you know, like it's been a long time since we saw something like this. So to see it come back in this fashion, I'm like, okay, I think personally this is fine because it's been a very long time, you know.
Remember Beta's with Kun?
With Kun, yep, yeah, he was transformed into his lighthouse. So
yeah,
just remember that.
I'm telling you, dude. Now that we have this goblin species that's also a weapon, it's a lot of moving parts.
It might be time to bring Beta back. I mean, we are still early on from the hiatus, so I can't say anything yet.
All I can say is I'm very hyped for what we're gonna get, dude. Especially, okay, so this is also another speculation, but when we see, I think it's Masheni Kun, and then she kind of looks back, she goes, "Oh, little brother, I hope you have fun." I really hope that's Ran. I really hope that's Ran.
Yeah,
because
you know
if it is,
might be.
he'll probably go crazy and be like, "Oh wait, I'm actually on their side," you know, instead of being, you know, like, "Oh, I'm all buddy because we're family." Who knows? You know, it could also be the gamer one.
That one. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, maybe
you know,
that one. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be the gamer one. Yeah,
you know,
we haven't seen him in a hot minute, and I hope SIU hasn't forgotten about him.
Oh, dude,
he's
To
bringing
me,
back
it's
old stuff, so it has to be like a precursor to something else coming up.
dude, the one thing I can respect about SIU is that the same reason I respect Oda is that they never forget the characters.
Place for everybody.
They always come back, dude, and it's like, wow, so good. But yeah, this is a really good comeback for Tower. I'm very excited. If you're not reading it, now is the perfect time.
Watch it before read it before season 2 comes out.
Right on, guys. So let's get into some good old viral hit, man. Really enjoying what we're going through here, man. This is chapters 44 through 55. It was like the down. It's like the typical Lookism stuff, right? We get some downplay with this little beach arc, and then now we're pushing more into the next little arc here, where we're understanding Tyhoon with his backstory. But I gotta say, like, the beach stuff, all that was fantastic.
It's so good, dude.
So good.
Hold on. Before we go on, dude, I just gotta say it, and I've said this to you guys before, but my girl Gaul, dude, thank God for her being so innocent and so pure. But at the same time, like, my girl, come on, man.
Yeah, bro.
If a guy's talk to you like that, I promise you, just keep another eye out.
That is.
And like the friendship between Gaul and like all the other girls, like, come on, man, this is so good. Like I didn't really expect it until the story started developing a little bit more. But I was like, oh, this is great. I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's weird that she's kind of got like an old personality, but she always needs to be taken care of.
Oh yeah.
Like, she reminds you of like the village elder. Like, they're really, really old, but they're like also like dwarfs, you know?
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
they always need to be like watched over or some shit like that.
Like
it's
Gimli.
cute, you know what I mean?
The Gimli of Lord of the Rings is Gaul. Yeah, dude, this arc is great, man. It's a really good time. It's a really nice palate cleanser for sure, for them to go to the beach and have to go through all that.
Shout out to my boy Magni, dude. He was.
Jesus Christ, you guys butcher these fucking names, dude.
Isn't it Magni?
Hard. It's I don't even know, dude.
Mangy?
Yeah, it's the N is before the G.
Okay.
Dude, it's Gerry's character in Dark Souls 2, Master Bates.
Yeah, dude.
Look, I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, how come they're not changing the names for these other series like they did with Lookism? Just make it easier for us, please.
And Tower, Rahel, Rachel,
They're
Lahel.
probably
God,
just
dude,
waiting
just
until they
stick to one.
introduce a
Just-
bunch of
why not just
people.
bitch? Hey, Rachel.
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, the boy, the sumo boy, killing it, man. Not sumo. Just wrestling. Yeah. Yeah. He's like what Logan would be if Logan was an asshole. If he wasn't an asshole, right?
Dude, 110%. I feel like the creator was like, hold on, can I write Logan but as a nice guy? I'm telling you, man, this setup for Tyhoon's backstory is so... It's so good, dude. I told you guys earlier, I've read ahead, so I won't get into it too much, but it's very Lookism-esque.
It feels like it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's gonna be Vasco's story, but backwards. I'm just calling it.
Oh, the flashback stuff.
Yeah, well, we take Vasco's story where he was like, a victim of being bullied and then turned into a hero. Where it's like this case, he's like already the strongest, so he's like, he already said he was like even worse than before, so it's just like, okay, so you started out as a piece of shit and then you get slightly better.
Yeah, but what you gotta remember, Vasco was also trying to be something that he really wasn't, in Lookism, where versus we kind of have the idea that Tyhoon was just kind of an asshole, like, all to begin with, you know what I mean? So it's
you can kind of already take from that he also tries to do the same thing. Like, we already know from past to present that he doesn't have the same hair color. He dyed his hair brown. From whatever reason, he had this relationship with this kid, Duan Lee. You know what I mean? So he's trying to incorporate, something about him that wasn't originally a part of Tyhoon. He's changing himself to incorporate that, I also think that even though it's not like to that scale, right? Like, it really like Lookism comparison, like, it's minor, but it's still a change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel you. I'm picking up what you put down.
Yeah, the beach stuff. To go back, my favorite part is what we've been talking about Hoban, right? Is he's getting stronger, and we actually get to really see that happen. You know, he's getting more confident in his skills, and at first he was freaking out. He's like, "Oh God, what kind of fighting style do they use? How do I counterpick?" And then, you know, he just throws, you know, in a reflex. He's like, "Okay, let's try this." The guy knocks down. It's just like, "Oh, wait, these guys are weak?" And it's like, "No, you dumbass, you're getting stronger." He's like, "Oh."
I loved it, dude. I loved it.
Yeah. So now things are changing, which might be a thing that pops up for the channel. You know, like if he's getting stronger than the bullies that are coming up, is it still worth it for him to be doing those kind of videos? Is how I kind of see it, right? Okay, like this came out of left field, right? Because the little mini arc before this, which is the aftermath of the One Punch TV, right, with Seongjun, the big bad.
Yeah.
And how, like, out of nowhere, like, Hoban's mom's just living at home now. And I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be a bigger deal.
She's just on Switch.
Yeah, she's just playing, she's being a gamer. Yeah.
Dude, that shit was great.
But yeah, that caught me by surprise because, like, oh, she'll shoot her back home, but how's Hoban trying to explain, like, what he's doing? You know, I kind of wish we got a little bit more than that.
That smells like an incoming...
I feel like it was already implied.
It smells like an incoming arc, though.
It could be, but I feel like it was implied because she had already seen when there was the fraud of Hoban. What was it called? Not viral hit, but it was
viral. She saw viral hook on Bomi's phone.
Yeah. So I mean, she could. I mean, again, it could be implied, or we could also have an incoming arc of like, hey, how did you actually pay for my hospital bills and that whole sort of thing.
Well, she knows Hoban does YouTube, but she doesn't know what it is.
It's not YouTube, it's NewTube.
It's K-Twitch, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, she did tell Hoban when she saw viral hook, she's like, I hope you're not doing something like this. Yeah, I'm hoping that's soon for a big shakeup, right? Like, I think it's going to happen when things are getting higher and higher for their new little company with viral hook. Like, I feel like when that's going to be getting towards the peak is when she's going to be like, what the fuck?
Right. I mean, it could definitely be a good outlier, especially with this whole competition between, you know, Hoban's company and Seongjun's company.
Yeah, so this is going to be... I feel like the way the pattern's going to be is, you know, there's the 4 people under Seongjun, and we're going to have to go through each one, right? Because right now we're going through Yoon-ji, who is the studying guy, or he just studies on stream all the time. Who knows?
The goody two shoes.
What is it? Kyoshin karate?
Kyokushin?
Yeah, dude. He's got that.
The fist of the black turtle.
Jinbei moves.
No, he's got the fucking Daiwei moves. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, so he's an interesting character. That's one thing I like about the author, right? Taijun, is there's always depth with these important characters coming in, because there's like that whole backstory with his dad and studying and all that, and like in the new chapter in 55 talking about how like, look, like I'm watching you stream because you rather have that than a camera in here to make sure you're studying. It's like, oh shit, okay. Yeah, Taehoon was right on the money with that.
Yeah.
Look, dude, it's like I said a long time ago before in Lookism episode when we started doing these manhwa, you know, shorts, is that whoever this Taejun Pak who created Lookism and Viral Hit, he either seen some shit or he been through some shit, because the way that he goes into detail with these characters is incredibly insane. You know, like, oh, I want to make sure you're studying by watching your stream. Like, the stream is going to be you studying. That's how I know you're doing your work. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
That amount of control is insane. Like, how did... You must have known somebody. You don't have to tell me, but you must have known somebody, or you seen something, you know?
I really wouldn't put him past that shit if he just like watched a lot of like Korean soap dramas growing up, taking his ideas and those modern forms of like what's going on back then. Like, just take up like some fucking medieval wench, you know, whatever the fuck, just they're commandeering moms and shit like that. You know how it is.
It's definitely possible. I can't say I've seen a lot of K-dramas. You know, I've just seen clips here and there. So, I mean, if the idea is prevalent in a lot of them, then for sure, you know, he could definitely combine it, put it all together in his own story. But it just, for Lookism to have gone long as it has, and then Viral Hit, which is fairly new, I mean, to see very similar concepts, you know, being played out very, very well it makes me think like you had this has to be a real experience. Like something in here has to be real to you, you know. And that's just kind of me speaking as a writer. You know, like that's when you tell a story, you usually feel something with it, you know. But who knows? Could all be fabrication. I could be talking out my ass.
So I think I'm calling it right now. I forget his name. Tyhoon's friend who looks like Hoban. I feel like his story is going to be similar to Yeonji's, with like the overprotective parent about studying and stuff, maybe, and maybe that's why that ticked off Tyhoon so much. That's just what I'm predicting right now.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything.
Mainly because like when he when he was talking shit to him, and Tyhoon kept saying like all those specific details, it's like, oh, that means you knew somebody that was like that, and then you hate that because maybe something happened to his friend, and that's why he's no longer in the picture. And I just gotta say, man, it's great to see Bomi come back and just be Bomi. That was good stuff.
100%, dude. I think Bomi's one of the
Wholesome.
Bomi's just a fun character to have in here.
Yeah, large, wholesome energy.
Large. And we'll keep it at large with a capital L.
Somebody has to be horny.
Like, I thought that early Lookism art, you know what I'm talking about, with Zoe and them was something.
Oh, yeah.
But seeing Bomi coming in here, and I mean, her hanging out with Gil and Rumi, like, that stuff was great too.
Look, man, all I'm saying is they know what they like, and I'm all here for it, you know? I mean, I'm still gonna say Gaul's best girl, but that's just me. But dude, Rumi's good, Bomi's good, like, it's all a good, dude, it's...
Yeah, solid stuff. I'm looking forward to this arc. I want to see a lot of stuff coming in here. And before we end the viral hit stuff, we got to talk about the sex dungeon that Hoban was trapped in.
It's so good, dude.
Yeah, it's that wacky comedic writing Tyhoon loves to do. And I'm all for it, you know. Like, if we could keep getting that every now and then, it's totally fine.
I think we'll definitely get it here a lot more than we do in Lookism, because I think in Lookism we kind of lost it a while ago, like at the last amusement park that we went to the second time. But I think since this is pretty fresh and this kind of works out a lot with the way the new tube works, I think we'll see a lot more of it.
Yeah, and plus we're not hitting like illegal like gangster affiliations yet in viral hit and drugs. Yeah. So
we haven't hit the big stakes yet.
Yeah, so once we hit that, we have to crank down the clown meter, you know?
100%.
But yeah, so I think this guy, Logan Gracie, this might be the guy. This might be Mr. Chicken.
I think so too, dude. It's heavily implied, you know, especially since he's so interested. He goes, where did you learn all that? Like, I want to know.
It's either that or he knows who that guy is. Right?
No, he definitely said it. No, he said it. Hold on. He said it himself. Because he was like, you should have told me the truth. I was going to teach you a super secret move that would have been helpful to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he's just like, we'll definitely meet again. Yeah, he's like, I'm going to come and find you. I'll kidnap you again. Don't worry.
I mean, you also have to remember that Gaul knows who this is. I mean, she did the editing for the video, so she... Yeah.
Well, Gaul knows... She knows... Fucking, what's his name? Bomi's friend? You know, when he goes to the gym? The MMA guy, that dude. Yeah. He's the one that trained her, and she knows those techniques.
Yeah, buddy.
So maybe we're gonna get that Lookism shit with Crystal's dad in the flashback where they're all living in that apartment, right? And it's just a bunch of all of these guys
and
like
not fucking
develop
Steven
these
Seagal,
fighting
man.
techniques.
You guys are dumb, dude. That was totally Steven Seagal, bro.
How much you want to beg?
And then Gun's gonna come in.
You're so dumb.
Gun?
You are.
Dude, Gaul's related to Goo because of how goofy they are.
Can you stop?
Gail's related to the chicken head guy or to his like disciple, whatever that redhead guy.
No, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you guys said this before, but I'm pretty sure Gaul, the dude who she lived with, is the chicken guy. I'm feeling it, dude. 100%.
Her dad?
Old man, what are you talking about?
That's her dad.
No. When she left to go with a foreigner. She talked about this for a while. She went to go live with a foreigner for a while.
That's the UFC guy that hangs out at the gym.
The one who kidnapped Hoban.
No, the other one, that trains
old
Bomi's
man?
friend.
Oh.
No.
Oh, that dude, the fucking MMA dude, who fought.
Yeah, because he mentioned that he trained a girl, which we found out is Gil.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I think they're all going to be friends. Watch, it's going to be
yeah,
a thing.
dude, they're all gonna be fucking like
Oh, yeah, of
buddy
course.
buddy. She can be like, "Oh, I know you," and be like, "Oh, well."
Yeah, they all went to high school
small
together.
fucking world.
They
Well,
all
no, because-
entered these tournaments.
because-
they all know
because-
different fighting styles. It's like, let's make something together.
Well,
And then
if you
something
remember
happened.
too, when Gaul was fighting, I can't remember her name, the pink-haired girl.
The other
and then there
Gil.
was- and
Johan
then-
or Gil-
Gilhan with a
yeah,
Y.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then when there was a flashback with supposed chicken head guy. You know, he was like, "Oh, I taught this to one girl."
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, she could know both of them. Who knows?
Yeah, they're keeping it up. They're teasing so much here, but
real.
it's still like there's still not enough, and I think we'll get there eventually. I think at the climax of Hoban versus Seong Jun, right? Because that's going to be a long while, as we saw at the award ceremony, right? Hoban was like, "We're here to talk shit," and he's like, "That's a funny prank, dude." And then we get the the four heavenly kings of what did you say? Not YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, you mentioned Gilhan. Yeah, she's funny now, man. She's great. I didn't expect her to be a recurring character, but her just trying to sabotage Hoban's channel is.
Oh, dude, it's so
I'm here
good.
I'm here for it, man.
Dude, I feel like she's gonna just. I feel like she's just gonna join the crew in her own way. I really want it to happen, like, and
And I
for
already-
her to have like this like rivalry between Gaul of like who's really the better fighter at the end of the day. Because I mean, it was close, dude. I mean, I love Gaul to the end of the day, but it was a really close match.
I think
Yeah.
Gaul pretty much already figured it out who she was.
Golf,
Like,
yeah, for
I
real.
think-
She took her fucking brass
Yeah,
knuckles
like-
and everything.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, pretty much. I
Nah,
also
dude,
think that
definitely.
just-
She took the fucking knuckles and she's like, who had brass knuckles like these? She fucking
Right.
fought him before.
I think it's also coming down to to like just later on like when they have like this inevitable confrontation.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be like, okay, like of course I could tell your moves. I was the one who fought you. Like all that good stuff.
I was the one who beat your ass, girl.
Mm-hmm.
With my rubber duck too on the side, watching.
But she's gonna be a recurring character, like with the mask and stuff. She's like the mysterious Mr.
Dude,
L
she's gonna
of,
be like
the
Croissant
side
Girl
of it.
in Air Gear.
Oh my god! I hope
That's-
she gets her own channel.
Dude, Danny, when I saw her come out with that, I was like, "You're literally just fucking Croissant Girl, dude."
You're like, everybody read Air Gear. What the fuck?
Bro, this was the time. Bring Air Gear back. We'll talk about that another time. Tonight's just
That's a different thing. Yeah. Right on, man. Viral Hit's kicking strong, dude. And so let's swing on over to Lookism. Workers' third affiliates 6 through 9. And man, it's so good right now, dude. Zhao Lung fighting Jake, or fighting Gerry, and then fighting Jake, and getting the flashback stuff with him and Vivi. It's like, oh man, we're going like a totally different route from what we've seen before.
Oh yeah, dude. And you know what's crazy to me is that like we've always seen Gerry as like this really prominent, strong figure, and for him to fall the way that he does, and like when he has the lineman with him, he's like, oh, I never wanted Jake to know that I was stronger than him. But at this point, it's like, but were you, Gerry? Like, Jake has been in jail for so long, or like juvie, like obviously he's been training with whoever goes in there, and it just I think that's really, really nice to know, especially with the backstory of Jake and big deal that we got before this whole arc really kicked off.
Yeah, and I think it's showing already in these chapters of how he's fighting him and how he's sort of being surprised still by the way Zhao Lung is using his broken arm as a whip, which is pretty metal.
Some fucking Sesshomaru type shit, dude.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Dude, for real.
But also, like, he still has this air of confidence in him during this fight. And that's what I really like about J. Kim coming in right after the flashback,
Dude, but can we talk about my boy Samuel?
how he comes in and is like, "Hey yo, can I fuck up everything for everybody?"
For real. He's like, "Hey yo, Johan,
dude, he's the instigator, dude. He's like that bad person in a relationship. He's like, "Hey, how much can I make you angry?"
Yeah, he's like, I know I'm helping Jake out, but I want to have fun. So
Right.
let's see what can happen. And man, seeing Johan come in, just pure
pissed.
red energy, dude. Just
All the anger
telling
went
you.
into the one working eye, dude."
Dude,
Yeah.
he's seeing red, dude, and he's not stopping for anything.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Was I the only one that was just kind of like a little upset by the fact that he's like just having like extreme roid rage right now? Just like
No.
literally
Dude.
making.
I mean, you're the
holes
only one,
in
I mean,
walls,
yeah.
like,
Dude,
Yeah, you're the only one.
Dude, no, this has been a long time coming, man. We've known Johan
What-
has been angry
Like,
about
just-
Yeah,
drugs.
dude. What the
Like,
fuck is his
don't-
own? Is it
don't
what's
ever
his own
get me wrong
crusade?
about-
What's his own crusade
Right.
about, dude? It's
like I said, don't ever get me wrong about why they do the shit that they do. That's not really the problem. I just think that like for him to find out like a diabolical secret that ruined his life, he's like super OP right now. Like with this kind of strength,
Just
he could
slapping everybody.
basically beat the whole fucking story and just be done with it. You see what I'm saying? Like that's too
yeah.
strong.
The one thing I would say is he is a little too strong right now. But it's been building up though, right? The last time we saw him fight, who did he fight last time?
Okay,
before
no,
all
hold
this?
on. But before you go on, you have to remember this one thing: is that Johan has like basically the same mimic ability as Daniel Park in the new body, right? So anytime that he gets his ass whooped, like when he first got whooped by Samuel, when there was the whole big deal thing going on, like a long time ago, he learned from that. He learned from Zach. He learned from all these people, you know. So like he just has that mimic ability. So for him to be as OP as he is now, it makes a lot of sense to me, you know, because he has that one thing that's driving him, which is like, I want to find the people that fucked up my mom and put her through this, and then find some kind of resolution of my own. Like that's his whole premise.
Yep.
So
for
you're
him-
saying
so-
that he's got to be copying the strength from somebody, or like it's
No,
just
no,
a simulation of everything?
he's copying the techniques, and like I'm pretty sure it was either Gu or Gun that said it in a previous arc. They're like, wow, the real monster is Johan, because anytime he gets hit with something, he immediately copies that. He's like, oh wow, that's how you do this technique. And I can vividly remember there's an arc where Zach loses to Johan in the boxing match, where he goes, oh, that's real talent. It's kind of like in Viral Hit.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's someone with real talent,
He's like,
not
I'm
like,
working,
oh,
I
I
have
learned it through
experience
skill.
and shit.
So what you're saying is extremely plausible, and I would agree with you, but only in theory that he is actually just mimicking strength, and that isn't his own strength. And then the only person that I can see him mimicking right now would be Tom. Like this is the person that I imagine literally breaking down
Steven-
walls with
Steven
one
Seagal?
punch. Yeah.
Yes,
Mister,
yeah.
I'm gonna get naked and wear my hat for a dick for a hat, whatever.
Well, that's why he picked him up, dude, because he recognized that, like, hey, this guy can pick up any technique. You know, it's not even like a strength thing. It's that, hey, he can pick up a technique like at the drop of a dime. You know, so once he saw that, it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna keep you here in my crew, but you're gonna go off and do this as the job. And if you find whatever it is you're looking for doing that, cool. But he's basically being the catalyst for him to learn what he needs to learn to be a better person, or better fighter, I should say.
Yeah, I feel like Johan's one of those characters where he is a strong person, but he was limited to what he knew. And now
Yep.
that he's opening up to so many things, like, right, the surprise of Taekwondo, right, for the tease with Taehoon and all that, it's just like, oh, now that he can do this kind of stuff, he just bumped up in a different league as far as a threat goes.
Yep, and he already had the boxing under the belt too, you know. So it's,
Yeah.
I mean, he mixed the boxing with the taekwondo. It's, I mean, and we still don't know if there, you know, was anything else that he learned, because he was kind of out of the picture for a while. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden there was like something else that came up with Johan.
Yeah. So, and then him coming in and just whooping Vasco's guy he was fighting, who was doing the Lookism face, but then also coming in and just taking down Vasco in one hit too. I think it's kind of expected, right? Because he is he's becoming more important the further we're going in. Or at least he's making himself more important into the story, right? He's inserting
100%.
himself back into the fray because he's like, no, fuck these people. They did this to my mom. No, we're not okay with this.
Well, you also got to remember, everyone has their own goal right now. So J. Kim is trying to find his master, Singuha, you know. Daniel's trying to save all these people from the drugs. Eli's trying to save Daniel. Vasco's trying to save Daniel. You know, like, everyone has their own motive. And for Joan to have the motive that it is, and Samuel to capitalize on it, he's like, hey, dude, did you know that they actually do drugs? And you're like, oh, well, fuck everybody here. You know, like, that's him seeing red at that point. Like, once drugs are involved, he's like, that ruined my life. That ruined my mom's life. Like, it makes sense that everyone has such a prominent motive in this arc right now.
Everybody in the story kind of has a place that they all fit into, you know, whether if it's like actually physically territorial or like metaphysical, but like in this sense, like he's a nomad. He just goes from place to place. He never really had a thing to begin with. He like left it early, and that's that whole backstory we got like after the whole church thing with the cult, you know. So it's just like it makes sense that now with this becoming more central to his character development, his story, more or less, that now we're getting this idea of where he's gonna try to fit into, if he even gets like permanent establishment between, you know, whatever kind of territory or gang that he decides, you know, he wants to end up with. Because I think that anybody would be willing to take him, and he'd be willing to let them use him or talk to him however he sees fit, as long as it just kind of goes hand in hand with his goals, like just the way it's always been. But I think like moving forward, for him to be like given, you know, a team, like given a family, or like whatever the case is, you know, they'll have to like, what is it, like reinvent those boundaries, you know, make him see like outside of what he was always assuming what was going to be the case when it came to this kind of lifestyle, and, you know, trying to, you know, successfully try to save his mom, you know, and with everything that entails within that, you know.
Well, it's still going to be a while, I think, before we get that. I would hope after this arc, because who knows where he's going to be at that point, because, you know, all the Hotel Vivi stuff's going to go down. I'm sure Tom's not going to need him there anymore, so he could either go back to Tom, or Zach's going to try to talk to him one more time. Whenever Zach wakes up, right? Because he's dead.
Yeah, dude, he's fucked.
Yeah, yeah.
He got rocked. He got rocked hard. Yeah. He had no cum.
I think I got his jiffies rocked.
But all I can say is, dude, I'm ready for this fight between Eli and Johan, man. The monster against the beast, dude.
They both have that energy.
Dude, the monster is Eli. The beast is Johan. Like, this is what I've been waiting for this match, man. Like, I always believed in Vasco till I die. But Eli, that guy's different, dude. He's literally built different. And I'm really excited to see how this pans out.
Dude's like in his 20s and he's still in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, he's ready to fuck, dude. That's all
He
I'm
did.
He's ready to do it again.
Sure.
Oh, I guess, you know, there was one more comedic bit in these chapters, and that's with our boy Daniel himself.
Oh my god, playing fucking Spider-Man, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus. He's gonna kill himself, no pants and no underwear.
See, at first when I saw him climbing up, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then we get the flashback. It was like, oh no, he was doing that stuff with his quote-unquote diet.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
He's like, well, what do you say? He's like, man, maybe it's pretty good. I lost all that weight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do want to see him in action with the other guys, just to get a proper scaling of how the old Daniel body's doing now.
The other body's in Green Hill Zone still. It's a lot.
Dude, no, he's in that secret. He's in that secret level, bro, and he's
trying to get the Chaos Emerald in this level.
Yeah.
Shit's nuts, man. He went deep with no air.
Yeah, the boy's being wild. That's cool to see. And dude, shout out to Lookism right now. Like, I guess like it's doing big numbers, right? Because look at how many chapters there are with music and
Oh,
the
for
music's
real.
changing
Bumping,
every
bro.
now and then.
Music is
Dude,
great
yeah.
this chapter, dude.
Yes.
Can I
It popped off.
honestly say-
It popped off right when they fucking the blade reveal, dude, in Xiaolong's hair. That shit was hype. Oh my god.
Dude, and can I honestly say that the people that put the comments in these chapters are fucking great, dude. Like this first one for the latest chapter, this dude's name is Low Key, and this is literally what we said, like the monster versus the beast, except this is better. Depression versus crippling depression, the sequel. So good, dude. But yeah, dude. I mean, I've said this for a while, where like every week the chapter comes out, and I'm like, but next week though, it's been like this for like 2 months, dude.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah,
great.
it's in that One Piece energy
Straight
now.
up bangers.
Oh, yeah.
Consistently
Non-stop.
too.
Choo choo.
Excuse me. Yeah, great stuff, man. I'm looking forward to probably Lookism the most right now out of all the series here.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Spicy.
Yeah,
Music
especially
gets-
with that little
the music
stuff
gets better,
we got
dude.
with Gun too, right? The little conversations about Zhao Lung.
Dude, this dude fucking just. This dude just fucking. He broke that fucking cue ball, dog.
That's what happens
That
when you
shit
use
was
Ultra
nuts,
Instinct.
dog. Forever. When you wake up.
Yeah,
Hey, but
that
you gotta
Ultra
remember,
Instinct
man,
trademark.
If Jake Kim can beat, if Jake Kim can beat him, then he can literally beat Gun. You got to remember that.
Yeah, 'cause
And
he's a
that's
strong.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I want him to
That's-
win. Yeah, he's got to win, and I feel like. Well, I don't even know where the hell Daniel's climbing to, but that's probably where Daniel would climb to. Is that section,
Oh,
right?
to the-
maybe
to the roof.
maybe Vivi's room, maybe.
Probably.
He's probably going
Yeah.
to like the next open window, you know, because it looks like there wasn't any open windows around. So
Yeah.
the first
Well,
first room he finds, he might just end up over there, and then boom, boom, there you go, Jake Kim,
Yeah.
fucking Daniel Park fight. Could you imagine? I'm gonna stop speculating.
I don't think they would fight.
No, I mean together. If Jake
Oh,
Kim
together?
beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd
Well,
be awesome.
Jake Kim will beat him, right? And then he'll open the door, and he's like, Daniel, what the hell? How did you get here? And then Zhao Lung wakes up, and he's like, zombie mode 2, bro. And then they have to team up or something.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel, he's either gonna go there, or he's gonna go wherever Johan and Eli is gonna be at, I think.
In the elevator.
Wherever that elevator takes him. Yeah.
That's gonna be a wild elevator ride.
Man, I hope we get some good shots, like different angles
Fuck
of
yeah,
the
dude.
fight, because it's gonna be such a tight space to fight in.
I'm sure we will.
They're just gonna be one up to the same floor. I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah. Right on, man. Look as I'm staying hella strong. So, alright, guys. Got a high schools chapters 513 to 516. And finally, we're getting to some big stuff in this arc.
Dragon Ball Z status everywhere, dude. Just every
Yeah.
you got Daiwi over here just fucking going toe to toe with this Ryong, fucking one of
With the,
Mori Jin's old friends from way back in the day when he was Monkey King. You have Mira fighting.
who's she fighting again? Yeah, Mira was fighting fucking.
Going toe to
Oh,
toe
he's
with
fighting
the
the deer.
with who?
The deer.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the
she's
fucking
fighting the deer.
You got the fucking the mom, the not the mom, the fucking cow queen, fucking Uma, dude.
King Uma, dude. She's back.
She
Fighting the rabbit.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
God, yeah.
Bamto.
Like it's just all around fucking hype right now.
So I think I know what's gonna happen with the series now. 513 or 514, whichever chapter killed all of the supporting cast. Yeah, 514 we lost Q, we lost Sujin. I don't know if we lost Dean. I don't remember. I think maybe he survived. I don't know, but when I saw these characters die, and I was like, oh. No, they're not dead. They're coming back. I feel like they're definitely going to come back. And who's going to bring them back? It's going to be a defeated Mubong. I bet you he's going to do that.
I mean, it's possible because he's just playing God at this. He is God at this point, so he can bring back. He'll be able to bring back anybody. it's wild because he's reached that status where he's not really doing anything. He's just kind of standing around, just watching everything go.
Yeah, he's just charging up for the whatever he has to do for the final step here for that new planet they built.
Talking to who? Tathagata?
For Tathagata, yeah.
Tagatha.
Tagatha, yeah.
Excuse me. I feel like he's going to finish this planet because they're not staying on Earth. Like, Earth is done, right? The Gaia energy is already depleted. It's just a dying planet waiting to blow up or whatever. So they're going to pull the DBGT thing, right? Everyone's going to go to the new planet and they're just going to live there. And then maybe Mubong pulls a Pain from Naruto and says, okay, I'll bring back these people that died. Hugh dying, I thought that's a great moment.
That was
I think
an excellent moment.
I was okay with him dying because that's a really powerful thing right there to show what's going on. But then when we saw Sujin die, I'm like, no, she can't die. She's got to be with Mori at the end, bro. I don't know. I feel like there's gonna be some people coming back to life here.
They pull out some crazy shit this arc, like mass genocide, the fucking shot of the kid just like with his dad, and you just see fucking a boulder just blasted on the top half of his face, and he's just saying dad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah, this is just like the towards the end of the baby saga from Dragon Ball GT.
Yep.
And like all they do is just use the Dragon Balls to just revive everybody on the new planet. Or actually, no, they transfer everybody to the new planet, and then whoever died got carried over. Except for Piccolo. Piccolo didn't want to come back.
Yeah, but yeah, it's that scale of destruction and death that we've been seeing here where I think, no, we're going to come back from this, right? Like, we can't just start over from all these people that chose Mubong's side because that's going to be a lot of conflict still after all of this, right?
yeah.
So either it's either Mubong or maybe Mori's going to pull some bullshit to where he's like he can harness whatever Gaia energy he has in himself to bring people back. I feel like that could be a thing too. And hey, we saw like half a panel of Mori.
That was funny. I was just thinking like, man, it's been a while since we saw Mori.
But yeah, we got all that crazy stuff going off with Mubong, and then we go over to Daiwi, and man, you want to talk about DBZ shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's going on with Daiwi right now.
Oh yeah.
Like, holy cow.
Just the amount of hits is going on, and plus like the self-psychological battle that the Ryong is going through during this whole fight. Just like
really
little by little, his reasoning for fighting is like whittling down with like each hit. It's so good. Like you kind of see it in the beginning too when he's first fighting. Like I don't know, I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but it was like along the lines of like of him. I guess he's a very honor-driven character, and the fact that we have that backstory with him and Mori makes it better because he was Mori's friend at one point, which humanizes him a little bit more, or for lack of a better word. And
it gives him more reasoning as to his, I guess, frustration with Mori.
Plus, like, while he's fighting Daiwi himself, you just the fact that Daiwi's still going, just waiting for Mori just to come back and finish everything. Like, unwavering confidence. It's like I like Ryong a lot. Like it sucks what happened to him in this one. But
yeah, I mean, there was that great panel of like, would I have been like him if Mori would have reached out to me?
Yeah, I went like grass is greener on the other side. Fuck, I love that. I love everything about that fight. Just Daiwi's not giving up. He's trying to, and the fact that he's not using the full power of the
body, Jade Emperor's body,
and he's like during that fight, he's still kind of learning how to use it or to his full potential, and he fucking human power. Oh my god! Just when he used all the forces that the arm of the king.
Yeah, he's just pulling that Thanos red one on each finger, and he's just like, okay. And I was like, oh, this is pure DBZ shit, because it's like, oh, space is bending around him because there's too much energy in his fist.
So good, man.
And literally breaking the laws of the universe just so he can do that fucking super serious series, super serious punch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we get that sick shot of like the energy blast like scraping the other planet.
He's gonna be so powerful. He's gonna talk to us, the reader, one time. He's gonna be like,
Yeah.
break the fourth wall. That powerful.
I think that a lot of those ideas always stem from like the Budokai Tenkaichi games. Like I think it was the second one that they started doing that shit where like if you do like somebody special, it'll like blow up part of the stage and like you see like the little cutscene where it like goes through the earth or like whatever.
Yeah, or
it's totally
it's like the shot zoomed out into space and you see the Kamehameha.
Yeah,
yes.
And it just scrapes the earth. Like the edge, and it just goes straight off. That was so dope. And just that's the one thing that made Mubang just get up from his seat.
Oh man, that shot's so good of them standing next to each other.
It's so great, man. Menacing.
Yeah. But see, now I'm like, fuck, dude. Now Mori has to show up because Daiwi has like a literal hole in his shoulder.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, these few chapters were pretty good. Like me and you talking about it, Danny. Like we were kind of losing interest because it was just a lot of stuff to get ready for, I guess. Which is like it's you got to build up, especially the Tagatha part. It's kind of really slow in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just the whole fact that like, well, Mubang has to like charge it up or whatever to finish the Ragnarok when the world's already fucking destroyed. In my opinion, like it's like you guys said, it's all gone. Might as well just go to the fucking new Earth that Mubang created.
Yeah, like I guess he's just waiting for the planet to be like complete before he just wipes everybody out. Like so, he's just trying to conserve as much energy as possible towards that, I guess, or something. But yeah, like I've said before, like it was in a lull of like, okay, we're just waiting for like the really big important stuff to happen, and you know, all the stuff before this, like we've kind of already seen before in other crazy arcs like that here in this series. And yeah, no, I'm just glad that it's picking up the pace now, and we're also getting like Uma's back too, and we're gonna see her like throw hands, and I like how she still has it's Tam, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the Tam bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how he's just like, I don't want to do what's going on. She's like, oh, shut up. Like that's good.
I think it was really cool how she came in wearing like the Boraicho fucking shit, you know, like the delinquent, you know, fucking. I think at first I thought it was like a delinquent uniform, but then it was like the.
I thought it was more like a lab coat, right? Because of our boy Bake.
I think it was definitely.
Oh,
like
but
just like some sort of gi.
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know, like some sort of temple.
Yeah, I can see that looking back at it. Yeah.
It's gonna be hype.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the great arc. I hope this is like, this really feels like it's wrapping up though. Like, you know, honestly, because there's a lot going on. There's the past is kind of getting uncovered with Mori. They're kind of fusing both Mori Dan and Mori Jin with Mori Huang and Mori, the other one. Like
the other one, yeah.
All of them, like all of them together in just Mori's body. Like all the clones have their own story and shit. And Mubang being the fucking root of everything is like, I say that despite not knowing the fact that there's probably the fight's not gonna be for like a while between Mori and fucking Mubang.
Yeah, no, because we have to go through. We're gonna see what's going on with Daiwi and Mubang, which that might be on a pause because I think that's the moment when Mori pops back up, right? So we have to go through the Uma fight right now with the rabbit. I think that's next because that's the tease, because we haven't seen Mira at all in a while.
Yeah.
So that's going to be coming up after that, and then that's all of the Guardians under Mubang. So all that's left is him, and then maybe, who knows, maybe Mira actually shows up before Mori and fights with Daiwi, and then that's when Mori shows up and says like, "Hey, look, the trio's here again." You know, and then that's when it really, boom, hits the last phase before Tagatha takes over Mubang's body again or something. So yeah, I'd say we're getting close, but I would bet like at least another year, easy. until we get close to the end.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. And there's definitely a lot of things that can be fleshed out from now until then.
Yeah, because we're gonna get some flashback stuff too, and you know all the classic stuff that we see in a shonen series like this, right? And also, like, he just wants, like, we're gonna get slugfests, like we saw here with Ryung and Daiwi. And, I'm like, if we get that for every fight, like, that's gonna be good, but that's gonna eat up time too. But that's good time. It's good time.
Yeah, I hope it keeps the pace. Because it feels like it's picking up right now.
Yeah, I like this pace a lot. Oh man, just looking at Uma coming in again, and just like all the energy she's bringing into the scene.
Fuck yeah, dude! Just the fucking. I'm so glad she's back. She's just like the positivity that everything needs. And this everything was so fucking dreary. So maybe just her coming in like a fucking badass is like just what the mono needed. Because right now I felt like everything was going to shit, and maybe she's just like the beginning, the spark of the turnaround.
Yeah, well, and plus everything is so serious prior to this, right?
Yeah, maybe that's why we kind of lost interest, because it's kind of like
there's no levity.
Yeah. There's no
right. Kind of like with Lookism.
Yeah. Sometimes with Lookism for sure. Not right now.
Yeah, like
sure.
not this arc, but the. I guess J. Kim arc, right? Where there was that feeling there too.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of it, yeah. What was I gonna say? I hope we see Bae come back soon, and teams up with Uma maybe. But I think that's if the rabbit lady's gonna, I don't know, do some Shadow Clone bullshit or something. Something's gonna happen where he has to come and they team up, and I just want that wholesome wife time.
I think he might try to find Iplo, and that's why he's not together with her at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think last time we saw him, he was on the moon still.
Oh, Bike, yeah.
No, they were together. That was the last time I saw
them. No, Bike's still, he's still here.
He came back to Earth. That's what I remember.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought they talked. I thought they talked via radio before.
Iplo died
the
though.
Fan.
Iplo Park, the fox, he died.
Yeah, he's not back yet, so he's dead until he wakes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Until that fairy tale bullshit comes in.
See, and that's also the thing too of like the way Sujin died, where it wasn't big and impactful, right? Like, I mean, she's a support character now,
honestly,
but she's still a big deal. Like, Pandora's still a powerful ability, and she has this connection with Mori and humanity right now. So like to just have her pushed to the side, like maybe that's just a message that the author's trying to say here.
And she likes cheeseburgers, dude. I mean, come on, how can you kill that off, dude? So good.
Like that might be the scale the author's trying to say. Like Mubong's just on a completely different scale. Like even though they're important, like we don't have enough time to like really reflect on their death because they're insignificant at this point or something.
Mubong's was moving way too quick. Like in the beginning. Now it's just like he's just charging wherever the fuck. Talking to Gotha and himself, making a deal.
Yeah, man. So again, I hope it's keeping the pace in these next few chapters, and I'm just honestly, it's all Uma I'm caring about right now. Though I do want to see what Daiwi has to say to Mubong, like because Daiwi's dialogue is always good when it comes to situations like that.
I don't know if you guys caught it, but maybe like after when he was saying the one shot, one kill punch.
I don't know if it was just me, but the look in his eyes was like, I'm done. Like super done. Like I might not make it back done.
Like I thought we were gonna see some recoil happen right after that because because right, like it's too much power concentrated in his one arm, and then his other arm's pretty beaten up, and he is. He took a lot of good hits. Like, he was eating that shit up like a buffet. Well. Yeah. So I figured, like, something was going to happen. But he also mentioned the rope kind of helped a little bit with the debuff stats and all that. But we'll see, man. So right on, guys. I think with that, that's all we have to say today for this episode. Excuse me.
These are good chapters that came out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, looking forward to all the new chapters for everything. And so with that, yeah, let's wrap up. While we wait for these chapters, man, you could send us an email to unversepodcast@gmail.com. And if you have any questions or comments, yeah, we'll bring those up on the next episode. And then you can follow us on social media at Unverse Podcast, anywhere you go. And we'll let you know when those episodes drop. So thanks, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.